Hello there, I'm Tanya Windiger. My question for you today is your trauma and all your experiences, did that feel to you like it shattered or it destroyed your whole life? You know, all these symptoms are just so overwhelming, it's just not worth living. You know, that certainly, I myself have complex post-traumatic stress disorder, so that certainly was the case for me for many years. I was so stuck, I was so blinded by all those symptoms. I just couldn't see a brighter future for myself. It was not there. I couldn't see it. Life was not worth living. I had all these symptoms, and once I had the diagnosis of complex post-traumatic stress disorder, I just kept reading on all the symptoms and what trauma does to you and how it affects your life and all the symptoms. And while I think it's really important to develop some knowledge in that field, because you want to know what your symptoms are and you want to become really aware of this, because your symptoms are actually a normal reaction to an abnormal event. So that's very important, that they are a normal reaction to an abnormal event. But once we are aware of that, I think if we get stuck for too long on reading on all the symptoms and books on it in detail, it'll keep us stuck. And especially on the internet, I always noticed, as much as I loved all those support groups and reading all those blogs from people, because some of the things when they were writing about how people feel and how miserable and hopeless and things get for them at times, as much as I could resonate with that, because some blogs were written almost like I've written them myself, you know, but it actually drained my energy even more, because I felt like, oh my gosh, is that all? Is that how I have to live the rest of my life? And I did not want to do that. That it was not worth living for me if I have to be that stuck and that miserable, full of depression, anxiety, and all the flashbacks, nightmares, and all the rest of it. I just thought I couldn't cope. That was just that. And I had a lot of therapy. I've seen a psychiatrist for many years who helped me through this. I think a big turning point for me was when I was speaking to a mother who had a little son who was just diagnosed with autism. And of course she was reading all the books on autism. But she said to me, I'm so sick of reading books that tell you all the limitations those people of autism will have, all the struggles they will have in their lifetime, so all the difficulties they will face in their life. From now on, I'm only going to choose to read success stories. And I was like, wow. I never even thought of that, because that was exactly what I was doing. I was reading all these books on PTSD and how it's going to affect my life. And it's, in a way, it creates a bit of hopelessness, helplessness in itself, even though they're trying to tell you how to better manage your symptoms. But, it's such a slow process, you can't actually see the end of the tunnel. And it was only when I started reading inspirational books, books of people who had extremely difficult upbringings or had horrific things happening in their life, and they still managed to have extraordinary lives. They still went out there and they were leaders, they were inspirational, they made a difference in the world, So I encourage you to be super, super conscious, very intentional on what you read, and whether this is something that's going to be uplifting, inspiring for you, or something that's going to suck your energy. Be very conscious of that. So I hope this is helpful, and I hope you find lots of inspiring things to read, and because the internet is full of it, and there are so many autobiographies out there of really extraordinary people. So all the best. That's it for now. Bye.